You can hear any background noise, I have my window open. Probably not a good idea. Really, a big wind had to come at this very moment. This plant nearly fell over earlier because the wind was like insane. It's so cute. It's like little tiny sprouts. It nearly died, and then these all came up and I was like, oh, bless, you live. Her name is Lexi, by the way. Hi guys, it's Catherine, and today I'm gonna be doing my April reading wrap up. So now I only read 3 books this month. I'm still waiting to have a reading month like I did like January or February. I don't know, whichever month that was a really good reading month where I read a lot of books. I want another one like that again, but I guess I was just kind of busy this month. I had like spring break, so I was traveling, and then I realized like I get car sick when I read. That never used to happen to me, but now it does. Great. But yeah, I read 3 books this month, and I'm gonna try to go in a little more depth with them since just a small amount, but then I'm gonna do a whole review for one of them closer to the date when it comes out, so I don't really know. Let's just get started with this wrap up. So the first book that I read this month was Daughter of the Pirate King by Tricia Levenseller. I got this in my Owl Crate box and I was excited because I had wanted to read this. So this is basically a pirate book, and it follows our main character named Alossa, who is the daughter of the Pirate King, and her dad wants this part of this map, so she gets herself intentionally captured by this other pirate ship so that she can go and look for the map. So yeah, that's basically what this is about. And I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. I think maybe I should have given it 4 out of 5 stars, but I couldn't really technically fault it for anything. But it was just a quick, easy read. There was nothing like humongously special about it, but it was a really nice piratey adventure. It was just very fast paced and it kept going, and I was like, yeah, I want to know more. Did my plant break? Look at how precarious that's leaning. But yeah, I really liked this main character, Alossa, if that's how you say it. She was literally the epitome of a badass female main character. Whenever people talk about badass female main characters, they always say like Selena Sardathian, but I have so many problems with her, so like, but I just really liked her. She had reasons behind everything, and I don't know, just the vibes that I got off of her, I really liked her. So yeah, she was like always good with words, had quips and comebacks, and I was like, yes, thank God. I love those kinds of characters. Another thing, side note I guess, I didn't realize, but like when you punch somebody in the face, the reason that they bleed is because their teeth break the skin, and I always thought it was because like you punch their teeth in and their teeth start bleeding. But it's also because of skin. I never even realized that, but that's a fun fact that I learned from this book. But other than that, of course there's a romance in this. She, like, the person who's supposed to be like watching over her is like the captain's second mate, which is his brother as well. And so he's like always in her way, and so blah blah blah. I don't really know how I feel about him. He was like, at first, like first impression of him, I was like, oh, he's gonna be like a good like male character, but then like, I don't know, he just kind of changed over the novel, and I just didn't feel like he was what he was meant out to be. I don't know. He could have been written a lot better. Wait, I'm pretty sure I wrote notes about this because I like to forget things. Okay, so the romance between the two, I felt like it was a little bit weird. It was just kind of like, it wasn't a fully formed romance, and it was just like, it's hard to explain, but like I don't really want to say anything just so I don't spoil anything, because there are reasons for everything. Very vague, but I don't know. I didn't feel like it detracted from the plot or like my overall experience, enjoyment of the book. So a lot of people say that it like the romance between them happened too fast, and they were like too like mushy about it, I guess. But like I didn't really like, I don't want to give any spoilers. It's kind of hard to explain without giving spoilers, but people also said it was unnecessary. But I feel like it was necessary for something to happen in the book. And by the end of the book, I felt like it wasn't so much a romance, but more of a friendship. Maybe like a friendship that's a little more like but like I just felt like they were good friends by the end of the book, and that she cared for him. So yeah, would that have been a spoiler? I have no idea. I feel like a lot of the things that she does, or like anybody in this book does, I would have been like not okay with in other books, but the fact of the matter is that they're pirates, and I think that she's so great. Pirates, okay? I just love pirate stories, alright? I wish there was more. Fighting sequences in this book I thought were really good. I really enjoyed them. They were like very descriptive, and I was like, I feel like I'm there. I can totally go fight now. No. Somebody had like brought to my attention that it was like a tropey kind of book, but I feel like they were so well done that I didn't even notice them until somebody had to point it out. So that was well done for me. Like I said, it was very well paced, and it was a very fast read, very witty kind of thing. There were just wonderful banter in this book, and I really enjoyed that. One thing, it says that this is a Lady Jack Sparrow She's really not. I feel like Jack Sparrow is his own person. There's never gonna be a replication of Jack Sparrow. So yeah, I just feel like she was just her own character, so there you go. So yeah, enjoy this book. I would definitely recommend it. If you want a quick, easy, fast read, if you're in a book slump, I would probably recommend this book. Maybe? I don't know. The next book that I read this month was an art copy that I received from Nick Elliott, and I was so excited, but it is The Broken Ones by Daniel L. Jensen. This is a prequel novel that is coming out in June 6th to the Malediction trilogy, the first book, which you know, if you've been on my channel for a while, you know how much I love this trilogy. One of my favorite trilogies of all time, no doubt about it. But the first book in the Malediction trilogy is Stolen Songbird, and I would definitely recommend reading it if you're into fantasy and romance and adventure. Yeah, but The Broken Ones, oh my god. I'm not gonna talk about it too much because I'm gonna do a review video for that. I'm gonna do like a week, not really. I'm gonna do like 3 videos, like sort of oriented towards The Broken Ones release before it comes out. So look out for that in June. And also I feel like you need to read the trilogy first, or at least the first book, in order to read the prequel novel, because somebody that didn't even read this trilogy read the prequel, and then they were complaining about world building, and I was like, no, you're supposed to have read the trilogy already. And I also feel like the story that happens in this prequel novel is kind of a subplot in the first book. Oh my gosh, I just felt like so much in this prequel novel like explained so much more about like what happens in the trilogy and why things are that way. It was just so good. This book definitely made me realize how much I like Daniel L. Jensen's writing. It's just, I love it. The way she constructs her stories and just heartbreak, and I felt like I just died. Okay, it was just really good. Daniel L. Jensen is probably one of my favorite authors, and I cannot wait for more of her book. Like, I don't even know if she has anything in the works, but I'm freaking excited because I love her writing so much, and I cannot wait to see what more she comes out with. But like I said, this book was amazing. I'll talk more about it in the future. Give it a 5 out of 5 stars. Definitely read Stolen Songbird. If you haven't already, I cannot recommend it enough. So there you go. If you can hear like humming in the background, it's the washing machine. Love it. So the third and final book that I read this month, I finished like 2 days ago. So everyone and their moms already read it, but I was like, I need some sci-fi kind of thing. I like never really used to read sci-fi. That's an irrelevant fact, but you know, this book was just... But it is These Broken Stars by Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. This book, man, oh my god. Every time I had to put it down, like as I was just beginning it, I was like, I need to get back to it. Like I wanted to like read and read and read, but I had life to do, which is stressful. But this book, it didn't feel like anything deep or anything, but I was just like really intrigued with what was going on and the characters, and like I had gotten a brief synopsis of this before, so I was like, I know things are gonna have to happen, so like I want to get to that happening stuff. Basically, this is a sci-fi romance YA. This basically follows these 2 main characters named Tarver and Lilac. And Tarver is a soldier with like newfound fame, I suppose you could say. And then Lilac is the daughter of the most richest man in the galaxy. But anyways, they're traveling in space, and the starship that they're on, is that what you call them? Starship? I don't know. The ship that they're on gets torn from outer space, and they crash land on this planet that they find out is deserted, and they're basically the only survivors. And I just really loved the story. So in the beginning, they meet, right? And so she's like big society girl, has like a bunch of expectations on her, and he's like, I'm awkward, I don't want to be here. So they kind of like form like an instant connection, I suppose you could say. It sounds really cheesy when I say it out loud, but like if you read it, you understand. But then she can't entertain him, so she kind of like lets him down. What's the word? Shoots him down. That's the word. But at some point, she just like, I just can't explain myself. Even after the crash and they're trying to survive, she cannot stop like making jabs at him for who he is and like the kind of person that he is. I'm just like, what are you doing? You understand what the other side of the story is. And she even says like, oh, like I understand he must like be feeling this or whatever, but like she just keeps annoying him the whole time, and I'm like, what are you doing? But then I suppose the authors want you to feel that way about her, so I can excuse it. And I guess I also kind of added to the story, and it wasn't just like, why that? You know? Like the annoyingness was worth it. A lot of people say that this book was really boring, and honestly, I didn't even notice if it was gonna, like, okay, how do I explain this? So there's a part where they're just traipsing across the planet, and I guess people find that bit boring, but I don't know. I was just so intrigued. I just wanted to know what happened next, and I was like, this, I love just it was just so good, okay? The like them like walking around, I really enjoyed that. And I know some people don't, but I did. So now I'm gonna talk some spoilers, and they are freaking major spoilers, so do not watch this next piece if you don't want to. So yeah, I'm gonna put a time on the screen obviously so that you can skip ahead too, so I'm just talking like a lot right now so that you can skip, so goodbye. Here we go, let's get started. So, oh my god, I don't even know what to say, alright? Okay, so whenever a character is dying in a book, I'm just like, kill them, because it's worth it. Like, no books do that, so just kill them and I'll be fine with it, okay? Well, I won't be fine, but like, you know? So I'm just gonna pull another book. I'm not gonna name anything because like spoilers, but a book that I had read, a character dies, but you know that she's gonna die in like it's coming. But then after she dies, and then there's her like love interest to mourn her, we observed him mourning from like away. We weren't in him from his point of view. In him? Gross, stop. We were like getting his grief from another character's point of view. So I feel like when I read this book, I was like, Jesus, the grief felt so freaking real. And I feel like also she just died so unexpectedly, but at the same time it just felt so devastating. Like if it was just like a blip, like, oh, she died, okay, it didn't feel like that, even though it was kind of like that. So oh my god, I can't even explain myself, but I was just so distraught. Like I've read many characters' deaths, but like I felt like, can I say that hers was like no others that I read? I don't know, but she was just, I felt like it was just kind of different. He was like the last person on the planet, and she was like, oh, and they just that was just really rough, and I like wanted to cry with my voice at the same time. Like I couldn't let it out, so I was like and I was like, this is too heartbreaking for me. And then like Tarver afterwards, it was just, oh my god, I can't deal with it. But yeah, that's how I feel about this. I think that's the only spoiler kind of thing I want to talk about. I'm gonna be editing this. I'm like, wow, you forgot everything. Part 311. The ending of this book, I like, okay, so I thought it'd be like something would go wrong at the last minute, because I was talking to somebody, bookish vegan, and she had read this book, so I was like, dude, I need to like release my feelings to you. So she was like, oh, the ending was devastating, right? I was like, wait, I haven't even gotten to the end yet. I was just at Lilac's death, okay? So I was like waiting the whole time for a really devastating ending, like something bad would happen, she would die again or something, but she didn't. It was just fine ending. I was just like sad that I wouldn't be able to like be with them again, the two main characters. I don't know. I'm gonna miss them so much, so yeah. But anyways, I think that's it for this spoilery bit. Now, are no spoilers, here we are, yay. This book overall, I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. At first I was like, oh, this is an average book, I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 stars. But then like as the book progressed, I was just like, this is so good, I love it so much. So I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars because I really liked it. Yeah, I will definitely be continuing with this trilogy. I just gotta give my heart some time, alright? So that is all for this April wrap up. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. Books, man, I'm gonna try to read some more next month, but life, okay? Remember to check out my social media, which will be linked down below if you'd like to. And that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Goodbye!
I was yours on Sunday, while we watched the children play. We fell deep in love again, like we always do.